Alright, so how I'm prepping for Tides of Terraria now that we have the release date of the 25th. First, I'm processing all the materials I have, so I've collected all the ore, stone, and coal from all my different bases and oil outposts and everything like that. And just making a bunch of legendary spheres and selling them, just trying to get rid of everything so I can easily just move all my bases. And doing a little bit of expeditions while doing this, not a whole lot, just enough to stock up on some of the mushrooms and stuff like that. Then as soon as I heard the news as well, how close the update is, I stopped breeding. I was breeding a Meteor Rain Cygnus army, or at least 6 of them for that, but that doesn't seem like it has a real purpose anymore. We might get the skill fruit added to the plantations. So just emptying all my breeding bases, stopping every single breeding project, the souls collecting from Frostalia and Nox, the Mamorists, everything like that, stopping all these breeding projects. So these bases are just gonna be, I think I'll just keep them because they are quite easy to dismantle. Just kind of get ready to move them, move all the chests and stuff like that. Maybe just put some ranch pals in them for now. Just fill them with moves and chickpeas and stuff like that. So just gonna like some boosters, some army pals, just whatever kind of ranch pals there are. This might get improved as well, but might as well just stock up on some pal fluids and stuff like that. Then we got some skill fruit planting as well. Because you never know. So far I've mostly been planting the best Faybreak skills, but now I'm gonna stock up as much as I can on some of these like Fireball, Dark Laser, Comet, these kind of skill fruits that might not have been as good in this patch, but they might get balance changed, who knows. I'm just gonna start growing a couple of these out, a lot of them left over from Sakurajima, but some of them I ended up using quite a bit for testing during Faybreak. I'm just gonna grow them here. So I made 2 of my bases into just skill fruit bases. You could add some floors as well, just mass them out, but hopefully this will be enough just for an army or 2 in case one of the skills ends up being super strong. You can just kind of have like 15 to 20 of every skill fruit, that would be great. One thing you could breed for if you want to breed for something is if these elemental chests get buffed. I've been considering just like a Gobfin Ignis, but that is probably a bit far. We'll see. They might change the booster pass as well, so I'm probably not going to breed a Gobfin Ignis, but it's something to consider, getting some different pals for those elemental chests. But it's probably not something I'm going to do. Then you have the oil as well and the hexalite. Oil is just passive. I'm going to be running my old generators. No change there. Then hexalite, not going to bother with that. It's still bugged. Either they don't mine it or they miss it or stuff like that. So I'm not going to be prepping any hexalite really. But I am going to be showing some things that I've been grinding that you could grind for as well. Alright, so for some stuff to grind for, you got the rocket ammo, pretty cheap. A little bit more expensive with the missile ammo and the plasma cartridge. A little bit with these, you might not want to spend some of the materials. Chromite is a little bit bugged to farm right now, or the hexalite rather. But just enough of these two to do some of the early bosses. You might get some buffs as well to the speed for these. The crafting speed and the grinding for the materials. So you might not want to invest too much. A couple spheres, just enough to probably catch 12 out of 12 to level up if we do get a level increase. So some exotic spheres, some gold. Not sure how relevant it will be. Right now there isn't a whole lot to buy, so probably just enough gold and some homeward thunderclouds. Then you might want to grind for these rings, or you probably want to grind for them. I don't see them being changed that much with how easy they are to get. They are very strong. I use them on almost all the endgame bosses, so just something worth grinding for. They are rare drops from some alpha pals. There's videos covering these as well, but they are probably the strongest like defensive items in the game and have a pretty big impact. Then some optional grinds. I'm not going to spend too much time grinding these because the same thing here. As we get stronger, they will be easier to grind for as long as they don't change anything there. So especially like these books will probably be increased. Rio farming times will be improved as we get stronger. And these, they are representing the cavern mushrooms right here. I just didn't want them to decay. You might want to grind up some cavern mushrooms, but that might get better with some improved expedition stuff as well. So these are a bit optional, like the chromite. I'm not going to spend any time grinding them, just having enough to kind of max a pal or 2 to start. Like if there's any new pal that looks good. And then probably just level up the army. Have enough of these to level up your current raid army if you don't have to rebreed it. So something like that. And then here are some things that might be good for you to have if you don't have them already. It depends if they change stuff up. Predator cores are involved with the Meowmere. So maybe some Terraria stuff. Might be good to have a couple of Predator cores. If you're low on tech points, it might be good to just have a couple of books. Hopefully they make some sort of read all options. And then I am grinding up a bit of Paldium. I think this is the only material that I'm really grinding up. Just feels like it's going to be relevant throughout the game. Hopefully it is, since I'm stocking up on quite a bit. But at the same time here, they might make more like automation for structure, so I'm not going to spend time stocking up on a bunch of stuff like queuing cement over and over. Because you never know if they're just going to make a bunch of automation updates, quality of life stuff as well. So not going to spend a whole bunch of time there either.